Quick disclaimer. Information in this podcast is for general informational purposes only and is not intended to be treated as medical advice. Always consult with your healthcare team before making changes to your diet, lifestyle, supplementation, or medication.
A diabetes diagnosis is not a death sentence. It's an opportunity to take a new adventure into understanding your body and your health. An opportunity to put yourself first, prioritise you, and discover what you need to do to feel your best.
Welcome to Type 2 Diabetes Talk, the place where we chat about what really works to treat type 2 diabetes and prediabetes naturally with nutrition and lifestyle. If you're looking to optimize blood sugar and A1C, lose weight, reduce medications, and improve your overall health, this is the place to be. Now, here's your host, Type 2 Diabetes Nutrition Specialist, Dr. Jetta.
Hello there, Dr. Jetta here, and thanks for joining me for episode 52. In a previous episode, number 46, we focused on where to start when newly diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. We covered the first steps to take to start turning your type 2 diabetes health around. And I wanted to do a follow-up episode specifically around being newly diagnosed, as there were a number of questions that came up from our subscribers and members that I thought were important to cover to further alleviate confusions and overwhelm. Firstly, I want to emphasise again that for many people, a diagnosis comes as a shock. It can be overwhelming, and it's normal to feel scared, lost, or feel grief and sadness, and a whole range of other emotions as well. It can take time to get past this, so allow yourself that time and be kind to yourself. Most importantly though, don't panic. It doesn't help if you get stuck in a negative spiral, thinking of all the things you should have or could have done, or worrying about whether your health is permanently damaged. Unfortunately, we can't turn back time, so the most important thing to focus on is taking positive steps forward. I'm not going to share anyone's particular names today, but thank everyone for sending in their questions or providing the inspiration for all these questions that we will cover today. Okay, let's dive into question number 1. Is it possible to reverse diabetes without medication with a change in my diet and regular exercise? Yes, it is possible. Many people do completely reverse their diabetes back to normal. This is now called diabetes remission, which means blood glucose levels return to normal without the need for medication. And remission can be achieved through significant and sustained lifestyle changes, particularly in terms of diet and nutrition, and exercise can help too, of course. By focusing on a healthy, low-carb nutrition plan, such as we recommend, this helps to normalise blood sugar levels and avoid going on medications. Or if you're currently taking meds, many people can reduce and stop these in time as well. We know this from over a decade of experience and from the extensive amount of research on the topic and our own research in this area as well. It's important to note, though, that remission or reversing your diabetes back to normal doesn't mean you've cured diabetes. If you haven't listened to it yet, I highly recommend checking out episode 24 of the podcast, where we dive deeper on the topic of diabetes remission and how it can be achieved. Question number 2 follows on from question number 1. The question is, once you cross the threshold into diabetes, does it mean you're a diabetic for life, even if you go into remission? This is an interesting question. Once diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, the medical community generally considers you diabetic, regardless of whether you get back to normal and achieve remission. This is because remission, while possible, is a relatively new concept in the medical field. For many years, it's been a long-held belief that diabetes was a progressive disease that would only get worse and worse over time. We now know that's not true, and that with diet and lifestyle changes, it is possible to get back to normal and stay there as well. In practical terms, even if your blood sugar levels return to normal, you want to continue monitoring your health, taking care of yourself, and maintaining the healthy changes that help you get back to normal. This is because there is always a potential risk of relapse if old habits are resumed. I guess the key thing to keep in mind is that while your doctor may still label you as diabetic due to the way medical records are kept, the important thing is that you have control over your health and can maintain normal blood sugar levels and normal metabolism through the positive actions that you take. Question number 3. Is it really possible to reverse all those years of bad eating habits? Yes, it certainly is. No matter what stage or age, people can change their habits and improve their health. It's certainly not true that you can't teach an old dog new tricks. We have members in their early 80s who have completely transformed their health by changing their diet and nutrition. The key to reversing years of bad eating habits lies in making consistent and sustainable changes. This means adopting a healthy nutrition plan that is lowering carbohydrates and rich in whole unprocessed foods. Focus on eating loads of vegetables, proteins, healthy fats, and low sugar fruits. Nutrition is the number one thing that will help you turn your diabetes health around to normal. And complement your nutrition plan by incorporating regular physical activity, managing stress, and getting enough sleep. And when you're on this journey, be patient and kind to yourself. Changing habits takes a bit of time and some effort, but the benefits are well worth it. Not only will you see improvements in your blood sugar levels, but you'll also experience better overall health and increased energy, among other things. You'll feel so much better and know that everything you do is more than worth it. Question number 4. 6 months ago, my level was 6.1. Now it's 7.5. I really need to figure this out. I would like to drop 18 pounds to meet my 10% body weight goal. I have an apple shape and need to lose belly fat. What can I do? Dropping 18 pounds or 8 kilos and targeting a 10% body weight reduction is a great goal to have. And to achieve this, focus on a healthy, low-carb nutrition plan that helps manage your blood sugar levels more effectively. I'd recommend going back to listen to episode 6 on how to eat to treat diabetes, as this will outline everything you need to do. And one of the key things to do is to reduce your carbohydrate intake to between 50 to 100 grams per day, and that's what we recommend, and it works very effectively, not just for blood sugar, but for weight loss too. Of course, you can incorporate regular physical activity, such as walking, and especially strength training, which can build muscle mass and further boost metabolism and shift weight. Plus, exercise will improve insulin sensitivity as well. If you do need to target belly fat in particular, consider incorporating what's called interval training or high-intensity interval training into your exercise routine. We'll certainly cover this more in a future episode, but these types of exercises have been shown to be effective in reducing that belly fat area. Most importantly, be sure to focus on whole unprocessed foods. Avoid sugary beverages, refined grains, and high-carb foods like your pasta, rice, and potatoes. Instead, choose an abundance of vegetables, proteins, healthy fats, and low-sugar fruits. And consistency is key. So stick to your plan and monitor your progress regularly, and you will see your weight shifting.
It's time to leave all the noise and confusion behind and get proven, practical solutions that really work. Understand your diabetes and exactly what to eat to keep your blood sugar stable, lose weight, and reduce medications. All this and more is possible with Dr. Jetta's scientifically proven T2 diet program. Take charge of your diabetes health and join the program today. Visit type2diabetestalk.com/programs.
Question number 6. I was diagnosed with an A1C of 7.2 and attended a class to learn more about diabetes. They told me to watch my carbs and keep them at 30 to 45 per meal, 15 per snack. I was also given a food chart. I started walking more and lost 24.4 pounds. Today my results came in at 6.9. I thought with the weight loss and different eating it would be more of a move in my numbers. The doctor told me she wants to see me back in 4 months. How long does it take to see a great change? Please help me. I am so disappointed and depressed right now. Well, firstly, you've done a really great job and you've done really well losing 24 pounds or 11 kilos. And it can be disappointing when those numbers don't seem to reflect the effort you've put in, particularly with your A1C number there, which I'm sure you're talking about, as it only went down from 7.2 to 6.9. Unfortunately, though, this is something we hear a lot, and the problem is following their rules, because the carbohydrate recommendations you've been given here, these have perpetuated for years, and the truth is they don't really work. So don't get depressed because you can certainly get those numbers lower and see a great change. And you'll be able to see a change in the next 4 months, but you'll need to make more changes, particularly in the carbohydrates you're eating. So watching carbs is right, but 30 to 45 grams per meal plus 15 per snack is way too much for the entire day. Let's say you were eating 45 per meal plus 2 snacks. That's 165 grams of carbs per day minimum. We encourage about half that, with a maximum of 100 grams per day. So here's one important thing to understand. Your A1C test is a direct reflection of how much glucose is in your blood from the previous few months. So in simpler terms, an average of all the carbs you've eaten. And the total amount of carbs you eat determines your numbers. And if you monitor blood glucose, keep an eye on the after meal levels, your postprandial levels. Listen to episode 46 for more information on this. So here's the thing, just get back to work, stay positive, and you'll see those numbers come down in the next 4 months. We have seen people lower A1C by as much as 4% over 3 or 4 months, so it doesn't take that long when you have the right nutrition plan. So if you need help with that, please head over to our website and join us as a member, because we really make everything easy for you and give you the ongoing support to make the changes. Question number 7. I've read that once you get put on medication for type 2 diabetes, you can never get off it. Is that true? No, it is definitely not true. Many people do get off meds. Take Dean as an example, who shared his journey in episode 31. Even after 20 years living with type 2 diabetes, Dean is off all meds. It may take a bit of time, don't expect it to happen overnight, but it is certainly possible. The key to getting off medication is to focus on nutrition and making the changes that help manage your blood sugar levels and improve your overall metabolism, the stuff we talk about here on the podcast all the time. So please do go through and enjoy more episodes. It's important to work closely with your medical doctor when making changes to your medications, of course. And also I want to add that some people may not be able to get off all medications, and you should never feel bad about that either. But trying to minimise meds is a good goal to have, but certainly many people can and do get off meds too. Before diving into the next question, let's hear a testimonial from one of our members.
Sandra said, I learned I don't have to live in fear of diabetes, but can take my power back and be proactive about it. I'm feeling very upbeat and positive about my eating habits being modified and changed without feeling deprived or like a victim.
Question number 8. Can I go back to pre-diabetes and then non-diabetic and remain there? As we've covered earlier in the podcast today, yes, it is possible for many people to return to normal blood glucose levels and maintain that. But your doctor may still consider you as being diabetic due to the way the medical system works. We may see this change in the future, but that's just something to keep in mind to set your level of expectation on the possible outcome. And it's important to remember that even if you achieve normal blood glucose levels, you should continue to monitor your health and maintain the lifestyle changes that help you get there. This will help you prevent a relapse and ensure you remain in good health. Question number 9. Being newly diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, have I done permanent damage to my body already? What you might be concerned about here is diabetes complications, things like heart disease, nerve damage, or damage to the other vessels in the eyes, example, or other areas of body. Although it's not nice to hear, unfortunately, no one can answer this question with certainty, whether any damage has been done to your body. It is possible some damage might have occurred during prediabetes, but it's important to know your body can improve and has an amazing capacity to heal itself when given the right food and the right care. If you currently have no complications or symptoms of any complications, this is also great news, as it could indicate things are still okay. So just focus on being proactive. Focus on the things you can change to improve your health and to reduce risk of complications, harm and damage. To emphasize again, the human body has an incredible capacity to heal and regenerate. So by making positive changes to your diet and overall lifestyle, you can improve your health dramatically. And it is important to focus on what you can control and take proactive steps to support your health moving forward, rather than worry about whether there's any damage that has occurred, because that can send you down a rabbit hole of stress, and you really just don't want that. Question number 10. Once diagnosed diabetic, do you need to eat low carb forever, even if you get to safe levels of glucose in your blood? This is very dependent on each individual, their level of insulin sensitivity and metabolic improvements over time. For most people though, continuing with low carb is often recommended to maintain stable blood sugar levels and for weight maintenance. And when you go into something, we really want you to see a healthy low carb nutrition plan as something you can follow for life. It is a very flexible eating plan. While some people may be able to introduce higher carb foods in moderation after achieving stable blood sugar levels, it's essential to do so carefully and monitor how your body responds. Using a glucose monitor can help you do this. Identify foods that may be on your yes or no list. Higher carb foods are not completely off limits either. Consistency is more important than perfection. For example, if you're at your grandkid's birthday party, enjoy a small slice of cake. Or if you really must have that bowl of pasta, then please do so, but just have a very small portion instead of denying yourself of that pasta and then going on an all-out binge. Ultimately, it's important to listen to your body, look at your numbers and the patterns in the numbers, and understand your body so you can assess over time what's going to work for you. And our final question today: what is the most important thing someone that's newly diagnosed can do? Focus on nutrition, because 98% of your results will come down to the changes you make with your diet and nutrition. It is that simple. Okay, I know that sounds simple enough, but it doesn't necessarily make it easy, especially at first, and in many cases, there are things you might have to work through and overcome. Things like sugar addiction, binge eating, emotional eating, mindless snacking, building a more positive relationship with food or with yourself and your body. Often we do have a lot mixed up in all this stuff, but if you just start someplace, take one step forward after the other, you will see incredible changes occurring. In episode 46, we talked about the key steps to take in terms of nutrition. So go back and listen to that episode. Instead of seeing your diagnosis as the worst thing that happened to you, see it as a positive opportunity to take a new health adventure, to learn more about your body and yourself, and to step into self-love and care. An opportunity to put yourself first, prioritize you and what you need to feel your best. Believe me, you will thank yourself for that in future. Well, thank you for joining me on this episode of the podcast. I hope some of these answers help calm your nerves about being newly diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and provide some assurance and inspiration as well. For every person, diabetes or not, choosing health is a journey, a choice we make every day. With a diabetes diagnosis, you've been presented with an opportunity to take a new health journey, and you do have the power to make positive changes in your life. Make sure you listen to episode 46, which was specifically for newly diagnosed type 2 diabetes as well. That was episode 46, as it covers the most important things to focus on to get started. Remember, you are not alone in this journey. If you do need more support, head over to our website and join us as a member, and we'll be there for you every step of the way. Take care until next time. Dr. Jetta, over and out.
Thanks for tuning in to Type 2 Diabetes Talk. Please subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast platform. And for episode replays, episode notes, and more, visit type2diabetestalk.com. New episodes are available Tuesdays, 10 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time, or your time zone equivalent. Thanks again. We're truly grateful to be a part of your life and help make a real difference.